Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 25th episode of the SWW Show. As I look to make... Yep, I was right. I'm always right.
Whoa. You're definitely not always right. Let's start there.
It's me. Well, I always get to the point where I am right. I may not be right at the beginning, but I will figure it out.
Halfway through the show.
Yep. But hey, I'm still right.
This is true.
I'm AJ, that's Mike. I'm sitting here with a brand new microphone and a brand new microphone arm stand.
Oh, I was really hoping you'd be like, I'm sitting here with like a beer. I'm like, AJ, it's 1:30 on a Sunday.
Yeah, it is. I'm not too far off. I'll be getting there pretty soon.
AJ's like, I'm 10 feet from a beer. Does that count?
There's no beer in the office right now. So.
You don't have a beer fridge?
Not in the office.
So you know how I moved into this new Minnesotan place, right? So I'm getting used to the Minnesotan lifestyle. Yeah. We have an alcohol fridge in our living room, which is all of about 2 feet from the couch.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just saying, we play Call of Duty. I while dropping, I can walk over there, grab one, sit back down.
Oh, do you have the Call of Duty news on here?
About the tunnel system? No.
Yeah, the Metro.
No. I didn't write down how Metro 2048 is going in Call of Duty. That'd be weird news.
I mean, I gotta say, like, their marketing team has done very well with the Warzone. The seasons and stuff like that.
I think better than Apex did, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I think the Call of Duty Warzone team is the best out there for the Battle Royales.
Fortnite, I don't care about it, but it does pretty good about that. Especially it's good with tying it to IP.
They just throw money at the problem.
Yeah, no, that I will give that like 100%. But they're good at it because inherently they make it matter. Like the example is they did the Avengers Fortnite, I think, as Avengers came out, and I think my understanding is people enjoyed the Fortnite event more. But like no, they're good at like yes, they have money to toss, and that's why they could solve the problem. But it's still solving the problem. Like Apex, I forget seasons. Like Apex is a game I know still does well, but I literally hear less about Apex like magnitude wise than any of the big ones.
Yeah. What you forgot about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds?
That still exists and it still does well apparently. But like
Season 8 just came out.
Again, that's one of those games that like I'm positive it still makes the developer oodles of money. Just no one cares.
Well, and from the sounds of it, the Battlegrounds money isn't on main hardware; it's on mobile.
But that's the secret of all of those games. That's like technically pre-Battle Royale, Call of Duty Mobile was making more money than Call of Duty on consoles.
Well, that's what you get when you're the only version of the game available in the largest country on Earth.
But also, like, in PUBG's case, like, my understanding was the game wasn't as good, but, like, it was PUBG. Same with, like, Fortnite, obviously. So here's a question. Yeah. Do you think PUBG is doing better on phones now since Fortnite's no longer on iPhones?
No. Because you have to remember, like...
Everyone's playing Among Us.
Which I still haven't played yet.
We'll get there.
No, you have to remember, like, worldwide, it's what, 90% of devices are Android at this point?
Worldwide, yes, but I don't know Fortnite's distribution, because in America, it's much more evenly split.
Yeah, but, I mean...
And you have to couple, yes, 90% of Android devices, but of that 90%, how many of them are playing Fortnite?
Well, but what I was going to get to is, like, Fortnite, Call of Duty, PUBG, like, all of the mobile stuff isn't big in the States. That's huge in China and Japan and Southeast Asia, like, so, and the vast majority of those countries are Android-based.
No, that's true. iPhone is a very heavy American market. I thought Europe had decently good iPhone market, but it tends to be very American heavy.
Yeah, I don't know. It always feels like when I talk to um people in Western Europe that they are much more, believe it or not, Western Europe is much more open about thinking about things. Um, and so they want choices with their phones and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it also depends. Also, obviously, who your clientele is. When it comes to a lot of stuff, like in America, like yes, we have decently high Android usage, but they tend to be older phones. Phones that aren't gamed on. There's a lot of variations there. Where iPhones are much more. I could look at the iPhone market and have less SKUs, and it's probably more likely it's a more recent phone than the average Android phone.
yeah, it's just ridiculous though how expensive those things have gotten.
I think both get expensive. Like now, it's like Samsung's just as expensive. And you're like, why are we talking? And the thing
Well,
is, I
but
remember when the iPhone X came out, and people were like $1,000, and that's when everyone panicked. And now everyone's like, only $1,000 for a phone?
I mean, if you don't want to spend $1,000 on a phone, iPhone has what, one option, maybe two.
Uh, yeah. I think the rumor right now is the new one's gonna have a better one. That's a little bit cheaper. But
Yeah, like the 8 was to the X.
yeah,
But like
I can do that.
either way, like there's only one option if you want Apple.
Hmm.
There's that one phone, and it's like a different storage size or something like that. But whereas with Android, like the middle Android market is so
Hmm.
flooded with amazing devices. I mean, when I got my phone was like just under $700,
Hmm.
and it's 256 gigs of storage, um, 12 or 16 gigs of RAM. It has a 90 hertz screen. It was one of the first with a 90 hertz screen. Like, this is all stuff in that middle tier. Like, I
Hmm.
could have spent double the price of my phone and gotten a Note, a Samsung Note, but, why when I can, you know, get arguably the best phone on the market for
Hmm.
half price?
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm
Yeah.
not stuck with dealing with Apple shit all the time.
It works just fine. Thank you very much.
It works until you need to do something that they're like, no, you can't do that.
Which I probably tend to not do. Also, our iOS 14, and they're sound like they're slowly making the phones more open, which is interesting.
I mean, all they're doing is just adding a section to the walled garden. Like,
No, 100%. But it's interesting that that's the way they're bending. It's
yeah,
the whole joke of when people want something massive change, you change a little bit, so they feel like you gave them something, and they'll calm down.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like the vast majority of the people that, you or I would pay attention to about tech stuff that are big on Apple stuff, which I pay attention to almost none of them. Um, any little thing that Apple does, they see as a huge improvement.
Hmm.
It's like, guys, my 3-year-old phone has that. Like the 90 hertz screens. Like my phone was one of the first on the market with a 90 hertz screen.
Hmm.
And guess what? They all use the same screen.
Hmm.
Like, there's 3 or 4 screen manufacturers. So, when, that was part of the thing behind the iPhone Samsung lawsuit, was Samsung was like, hey, we have these screens already.
But yeah.
We may as well build a phone around it. And guess what? When you have one screen, it's every phone's gonna end up looking the same.
No, then that's definitely true. But yeah, jumping into stuff as we're kind of slowly entering the show. Some point on the weekend of the 10th, GTEx Online is happening, and I will be speaking. We do not have scheduled times, any of that fun stuff yet, but keep an eye out at thegdex.com for that information and scheduling. Otherwise, that's all the stuff because the world is still closed for business, as we like to say. Yeah. Otherwise,
Not Dubai. Dubai is
let's
open
jump
for
to what
business.
we don't live in Dubai, AJ.
Yeah, so it's funny. I was watching a thing about the history of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, in 2019 they had a like it was the worst year for growth since 2008 or something like that. And there's this huge real estate boondoggle going on. So I was like, okay, I'm curious. Like, how much would it cost to live there?
And how much?
It's not cheap. Like a condo, probably, I think it was a 2-bedroom condo, was just south of $1 million.
That sounds
US
like
dollars.
Price. That sounds like San Francisco prices.
San Francisco for a house. For like a dump of a house, yeah. But if you wanted like a standalone house, you were looking north of $4 million US.
So actual question, because we'll get into more of what we play in a second here.
Yeah.
Why do people still live in San Francisco? Who can afford to leave? I understand, like, you're like, well, who can? The people who can afford to leave. Why are there still businesses there? And why are people not just leaving?
It'll take one of the big ones to move.
Like, at this point, the tech companies should all be like, I'm out of here.
I mean, if the companies were smart, they'd move to, like, the Dakotas.
Even if you want to say we need to be near a big city because of recruiting purposes, there are so many cheaper ones. It's not even funny.
They don't even need to do that anymore because everybody's working remote.
No, and I agree with that, but I'm saying, but like, a worst case, we want to make that argument, like, it's not that hard to find some.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there are plenty of... Hell, Omaha's got Google Fiber.
Right, that's like you could find those kind of Midwest cities. You can, like, when you start going south, obviously, like, you can't do Austin, it's too big. You start doing even, like, Atlanta there'd be room. Like, you start getting, like, these other hub spots, and you're like, they're still so much cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't understand why all of you aren't just packing your bags. Being like, I'm out of here.
I imagine we'll start seeing that in 21.
Like, just realistically.
Like the slow... Well, it'll start slow. Exodus of people from the Bay Area that don't need to be there. People that are like, behind the scenes people, developers and things like that, they're not on camera, so they don't need to be around a studio. I mean, in the weird reality of it, like, if you're GameSpot, right, like, why not just have every position be remote, save for hosts and stuff like that? Like the host of the shows would have to go out to a studio, wherever that studio may be. But, I mean, the infrastructure has been and is being built this year that will allow you to do everything else remote. There's I forget the name of the service that they're doing remote game demos.
Yeah. I know you're talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the service right now, but so you wouldn't need the people in SF to be, Ubi's coming around. They just contact the Ubi representative and, play on whatever whatever service they would be using. And I mean, it's got to be a hell of a lot cheaper to do that. And then, okay, we'll fly you out for E3 because you would have to, you got to move everybody there anyway.
Right, like I understand, like there are events there, which is why it's still the anchor it is, and there inherently will always be a city that will be an anchor in that way. But like, even if you just move a bunch of the companies, then it just becomes cheaper. Period.
But I mean, like, what's the event like? GDC?
GDC's one that, yeah, I'd say is like GDC will happen in the U.S. somewhere. It's just a matter of what city.
Yeah. Well, like that's the one thing that's really tying them to SF. So okay, E3's in LA or
PAX is everywhere.
PAX is, in Seattle and Boston.
And Austin? PAX
San
South is that all?
Antonio?
It's PAX South is somewhere around there, yeah. Texas, I don't know you.
But so there's, and they would have had to travel anyway because there's no PAX in SF. So,
right, no, that is true. There's other events I feel like around there, but yeah, no, you are right. At this point, I feel like we've moved a lot of those out of there.
I mean, if they were smart, Apple would have bought 1,000 acres outside of Omaha to build their new complex instead of however many hundred. I think it was like 150 or 200 acres in the Bay Area, which had to be probably over $100 million just in real estate.
No, it is wild when I look at the. I was like following people who they're like, yeah, here's a, like housing prices. I'm just like, are those numbers?
The fun one to watch has been Brian Altano.
I saw he moved into renting a house now, like outside, like in the Bay Area, but like outside the city.
Yeah, he's like, I can't afford SF, and he's been there.
Once you have a kid, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, why would you put roots down in the Bay Area?
Which, when you're renting, roots is a relative term, but yeah, I agree.
Well, like, raising a family.
Yeah.
Like,
no, like, I'm not dissing with you. I just meant, like, I think renting roots means different because, obviously.
But SF in the Bay Area in general should be like from the tech perspective, like just a revolving door every 3 or 5 years.
Yeah.
It ebbs and flows, right? So, because I mean, really, like, what put SF on the map pre-tech? It was the art culture. It was the hippie culture. It was the people that have been pushed, even further north.
Mm-hmm.
That city has completely lost its identity because, the people that are there, right, that are born and bred Bay Area people from even the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have such a more abrasive demeanor about them because they were surrounded by tech douchebags.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the perfect example of it is, he's passed since, I think it was sometime mid to late last year, but Jake Phelps, the former EIC of Thrasher Magazine, was just a super, super aggressive guy if he didn't know you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to all of his SF buddies, he was cool. But if you were an outsider, he treated you like an outsider.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just don't see how anybody can survive in that area. Like, it's going to become just billionaire douchebags.
It is already, and that or no one can afford anything. Like, that's the problem. There is no in between.
Yeah.
Again, there is a need in cities to have like rich people, obvious tax base, and like other logistical reasons. The issue is when your city is so expensive. Like, that's the issue, is when the middle class actually falls out, and like, country-wise speaking, the middle class is dying, but a lot of it's going to upper middle class. Actually, look at numbers. But the issue in San Francisco is it didn't even do that. It went from poor
It
or
went from a thriving middle class community that
to
SF
that
was
house. So they got bought out. Housing then costs went too high.
Yeah.
That's the problem with that one. It's not even like they actually probably statistically have a middle class. The issue is how much that costs to live there.
Well, and I have to imagine, like, you know, the normal middle class SF worker, that, you know, that family, right? So the dad worked the docks and the mom worked like a secretary job at an office or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of your stereotypical West Coast port city middle class.
Mm-hmm.
They were probably just driven out due to
the story was for a while they kept going around Seattle.
Yeah, which was
like which is
SF,
cheaper. Like it's expensive, but it's cheaper.
It's bigger too. That's the benefit.
Right. Physically, also, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, so the family that was doing okay for themselves, all of a sudden, these 22-year-olds that get VC and have $10 million to buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
They all of a sudden buy these people out of their houses and are just paying cash because they have no financial advisor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're just going up to them, hey, here's X amount, can I have your house?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, that drives up property value and therefore property tax. And suddenly this middle class family can't afford to own the house that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so they move. Well, now they can't even afford a house. So then they try to, you know, make it work in a large apartment. Now
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't work. And it's like, you know, I feel really bad for the middle class in SF.
Yeah, it is a not fun place. So let's jump. I think now we've shown SS enough. Let's jump into fun stuff. So I have been playing, as we talked about, Among Us with some friends. So AJ, how familiar are you with Among Us?
I'm familiar with it in the fact that one day there was no Among Us, the next day
Yeah, that's accurate.
I'd say the extreme vast majority of Twitch was Among Us.
No, it is interesting in Among Us. Like so the whole thing was you watch it's been out for a year and a half, and then it just started picking out of nowhere, and there's a chart of like the player count. You're like, this is insane.
Well, there's a chart of the player count versus like milestones of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like this peak didn't happen until they basically sunsetted the game.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Like there was an announcement from the developers like a month before this shit happened that was like, first one's done, we're going to start working on a sequel. Like no more updates to Among Us 1. And then all of a sudden it was like, you know, a little blip and then it's a vertical line. I'm very curious though, like what happened?
Yeah, I don't know. But some people don't know. Among Us is a game where, basically you and a bunch of friends usually go and like basically do a bunch of simple tasks on a spaceship. So like downloading data or clearing the air docks or stuff like that. And then the whole shtick is one of you, or at least one of you, is the Among Us, whose job it is to try to kill everyone else. And then basically every time you do that, then the people can either get called to end the round when a dead body is found, or there's an emergency button you can click, and then at the end of the round, the people who are alive vote who they think the guy who's Among Us is. And then if they get found, the Among Us loses. If they kill everyone, the Among Us wins, basically. And the whole interesting thing is, so like most people, I don't think the game even has voice chats. Everyone uses like Discord and stuff. So the whole technical part of the game is like during the time of the game, you're not supposed to be talking. You're only supposed to talk in the in-between rounds during the voting, and only if you're alive.
I was going to say, there's some sort of in-game chat.
And maybe there is, but like everyone I knew was just using Discord.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the whole shtick then is So because of that so even though the dead person knows who the Among Us is because they got killed by them, they're not supposed to talk because obviously otherwise they'd influence the vote.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting, it's a very fun party. Like I feel like to me, like at least right now, it's a very I think it's a nice pace of a party game versus like the Jackbox games because it's very simple.
Well, and it's like it's like some of the Gary's Mod game modes, but you no longer have to download Gary's Mod and the
Yeah.
all the shit you need for that.
And what's also nice is it has a free phone version, or you pay $5 for a PC version, which makes it so it's now really accessible.
I'm curious. So obviously, there's extreme success with this. They've canceled the sequel, and they're going to keep updating this one.
Mm-hmm.
Who is going to be the next of the? Hey, here's a Gmod game mode. Let's just make a game out of it.
Yeah, I have honestly no clue. That's a good question.
Because this is just like Trouble in Terrorist Town as an actual game.
And I think this is much easier to use, but yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the same idea. Like, there's somebody that their whole objective is to kill everyone without getting killed themselves. So, I don't know. Like, if the people vote to end a round and don't get the killer, does he still win?
What's the question again?
Like, if they find a dead body and they vote to end the round, and the killer doesn't get voted,
oh, you go to the next round.
Oh, okay, but they don't win. They just
right. I think the way to the way to win is if everyone completes all of their tasks. I think automatically they win anyway, because then the whole point was that's why they have tasks. And I think there might be a round limit, but we never got that far, so it didn't matter.
I feel like this is a game that I would be scarily good at.
It depends. It's especially when you have friends who are smart and they go in groups, because then what happens is one of them gets killed, they immediately call the end round and they're like, I saw the guy kill him. And there's little stuff in there, like you could watch like security cameras that watch hallways. So like there are ways kind of to like, or the Among Us guy can walk through vents, which if you go somewhere in an event, then you know he's the guy. Or if he's in a room that he probably shouldn't be in, you know he's the guy.
It's just game.
It's just game. I don't know. I just hear vents just open.
I want to play Among Us and randos Discord voice chat, and just every time something happens, somebody questions me, I just get on voice chat and go, "It's just game."
I don't know. I don't know what happened. He dead.
The solar system's so humongous big.
Yeah, did you kill? No. I know kill him. He just died in front of me. Why are you holding a bloody knife? I don't know.
It's a magic trick. Ready? Boom.
That's the most Joker-ass magic trick right there.
No, that's like Hitman.
Actually, that's true.
They see you with the weapon, and you're like, "Oh, hey, funk."
So why in Hitman has there never been a magician level?
Contracts there was.
Okay, but like an actual campaign one, that feels like that could be a good campaign level.
Well, Hitman Contracts, those were campaign levels.
That's true.
I want to say it was that. There was definitely some stuff in Absolution that, while not like magic levels, there was some stuff around that.
I just picture stuff like, it'd be like, you want to do stuff like, you could dress up as a magician and you're trying to get one of the people in the audience you're trying to kill. Like, I could just see that level play so well. Like, it's a Vegas level.
I think it would be really frustrating or boring.
I feel like it'd be a lot harder to make it unique, but I feel like it'd be a very, very fun level to play. I feel like it'd be very telegraphed.
Yeah.
It would have to be.
I mean, they kind of put that into place with the, the new Hitman and Hitman 2 with the mission stories.
Mm-hmm.
But you would almost go back to the 2016 Hitman mission stories that breadcrumbed you all the way to their death.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in Hitman 2, they breadcrumb you to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's up to you. Whereas if the whole thing was, oh, you got to get on stage and kill the person, however you want to do it, like, I feel like that would be more of the first Hitman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else have you been playing otherwise? I don't think you wrote anything else on the doc here.
Nope. I have hopped into I bought Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2 on PC.
Right, we were talking about that, but we didn't do it on the podcast. Yeah, how's that going?
No, I was playing Kiwami 1 on my PS4. I got it on PC now. Because I just want to, I want to get to the point where I can screw around with the businesses and stuff like that they introduced in 0. Because that's stuff that I didn't do in 0 on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
So I found the most enjoyable way to play Yakuza 0 on the PC. You fire up Cheat Engine, give your guy basically unlimited money and all the completion points in the world.
Shocking.
And, effectively max out your character right away, or as much as you can. Well, because then it's just like, okay, my whole thing is I want to get to the point where I can then do the real estate games or do the cabaret games, so a lot of this stuff I just don't care about. I mean, I've already played through the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the story's any different.
That's true. Otherwise, are you been poking as the Yakuzas besides maybe the usual crowd?
Yeah. I've just been that, and then screwing around with Skater XL.
Not Tony Hawk Pro Skater on Epic Games Store?
Oh, don't even get me started. Still not working.
Of course. I thought it was always worked well.
So the Epic Game Store part of it, I think, works fine.
So is that actually the game you think's busted?
Yeah, because I can start the game and all that. It's just when it gets to the title screen and it has you press A or enter or whatever button, it just insta crashes. So
have you thought I fix this word online, or have you not been looking?
Dude, there's 10 topics on Activision Aces every day about, hey, I get to the title screen and the game crashes.
They're like, yeah, what's your point?
And nobody can figure it out.
No bueno?
So, I don't know, at this point, I'm just like...
Can you not return it at this point?
I could, but then I'd have to deal with Epic returns, which...
It's your favorite.
Is about as successful as if I were to try to, pull your spleen out.
Please never do that.
Actually, no. I think I would have greater success removing your spleen than I would getting a refund from the Epic Game Store.
Let's not test this.
What, you don't trust me?
No, I don't actually.
I mean, fair game,
but... nice. Otherwise, I don't think for the show notes, but I'm thinking about it is, as everyone's aware, if you download Rocket League on the Epic Game Store, you get a $10 Epic credit that's good until, I think, middle of November. So anyone who does buy things on there and isn't AJ, it's at least worth doing that because it's free $10. Otherwise,
yeah, I mean, so that $10 thing, right? That takes the base version of Pro Skater down to $30.
Mm-hmm.
And then the deluxe down to $40.
I love AJ's how does that work on the Pro Skater math? Not what games are there that's $15 that people want to try?
Well, but I mean that's Pro Skater is the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you were thinking about going into Pro Skater on the PC, download Epic Game Store, download Rocket League, You just have to launch it, right? You don't even have to.
I don't have to launch it. I just hit download.
Oh,
Or a better one is Civ 6 right now is on sale for $15. Use the coupon. You Civ 6 for $5.
I don't know if I would even pay $5 for Civ 6.
I 100% would. I have problems. Civ 6 is 100% worth $5. I think it's worth still. I think it's still like 20 or 30. But
I mean, I heard the best parts of that game were from DLC.
okay, I have a better one than AJ. Pre-order Hitman 3 for $50 instead of $60.
Fuck, that's on there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, pirates, please crack Denuvo so I don't have to.
Oh, please don't do that. Okay, so the other game I've been
Well,
playing.
no, do it because I will. I mean, I'll buy Hitman 3 once it's on anything other than Epic.
You just want to play it on PC.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Otherwise, I started playing the Outer Worlds DLCs, Pearl on Gorgon.
Okay, which one is? I always get
Outer
confused.
Worlds is Obsidian. That is Obsidian. It is not Fallout in space.
This one isn't Fallout in space.
No, this is Fallout in space. Like I was saying, it's not Fallout, it's in space. This is Fallout. This is Fallout in space. It's Obsidian team that did Fallout New Vegas. It is more Outer Worlds basically, which is I think a good thing. It's not going to sell anyone who didn't like the base game. But it's totally just another dark story within that world, which I'm enjoying because I enjoy that world.
I will say this: not the only name confusion apparently this past few weeks.
I don't know why you say such things.
I don't know. Did you put that story in there about the 700% increase for the 1X sales?
No, I did not. But that's funny. The other one I was thinking was apparently there's a Steam game called The Last of the Us, and apparently it's been doing really well.
The Last of the Us.
Yeah. Apparently, a bunch of people started buying that, thinking it was The Last of Us.
Okay, I'm gonna just look it up.
I think it's The Last of the Us. I was thinking that's right. It's something akin to that. It's
store.
I have to see. I'll see if I can find the exact thing, or maybe it's just
The
Last
of Waifus is the first thing that comes up when I go The Last of. The Last of.
I saw it the other day. I don't see if I can find it again.
No, if I do Last of Us, nothing comes up.
Maybe they took it off.
Okay, hold on. There's. No, that's Under Desert, the last piece of sand. Well, I can just go down to what is it? Top sellers, new and trending. Panzer Dragoon, Sam 4, Unrailed Squad. Squad's always in the top. It's on a 25%.
God, where is this? I saw it the other day. I have to find this. It was the
Phasmophobia,
funniest
Mafia,
thing.
Hades, Squad, Fall Guys, Middle Earth, Near, Medieval Time. The Walking Dead Onslaught. That's a VR game.
That was apparently atrocious.
My breast friend Sally.
Send me the link to that one. We're gonna get an interview going.
Oh boy, the first thumbnail is a jacked horse as a guy. Like it's a horse that has a human body and an extremely busty, jacked cowgirl. The last of the 4 screenshots is a extremely busty redhead with a cow bikini.
Mm-hmm.
There's Crab Champions, which appears to be a game made exclusively off of that crab meme. Like, it's the exact crab in the same beach and all that. Specials. Yeah, I've not seen anything about A Last of Us. Anything
I don't remember.
that.
I'll see if I can find it while we're talking, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Yeah. Otherwise, that I think is everything. AJ, have you seen any movies or anything recently? Because I think both of us left that blank because it's been weird for me.
October 9th, movie theaters open up in Michigan.
Woo! That's fine. No movies coming out anymore, so it doesn't really matter what they do.
I know. I heard that, and I'm like, well,
It sucks to suck.
have fun, I guess.
Yeah. Otherwise, I've just been
Oh, here,
doing.
hold on. I don't have them up right now, but Tenet's box office was like $3.5 million. Um, let's see.
Not.
Yeah. Box office mojo. It was super low, and then like Empire Strikes Back was okay. The 25th to the 27th. Tenet was 3.4. New Mutants was 1.1.
I forgot New Mutants actually came out. I can believe God that movie exists.
Unhinged was 1 million. Exactly.
Okay, Unhinged that might be its budget. To be fair.
It's grossed 17 million. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, was in at number 4.
This is sad.
Number 5 was Infidel, which is Jim Caviezel. I don't know how you say his last name. Who directed it? I want to see, like, I don't want IMDb Pro. I just want the IMDb cast and crew. Cyrus Naurasthad. Sorry, I butchered his last name. The director, writer, and producer on this film.
Okay.
I don't recognize anybody on this film, and that was the number 5 film for the 25th to the 27th.
That is just scary. You just said scary stuff.
It's only available in the States, apparently.
Okay, so I guess we'll do that. Let's jump into, I guess we have a bunch of film news to get through. The first one is, it's not 100% confirmed, but it's basically confirmed when you look it up. It sounds like Tom Hardy is the next James Bond.
It'll be interesting.
So on paper, I feel like he'd be really good. And I almost feel like when we've talked about James Bond before, he's a name that either we've talked about or like we should have talked about.
I don't know. I really hope this is like Inception Tom Hardy.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I think he'd be good at that. Inception Tom Hardy, I think, would work as a Bond.
Because I don't want Bane Tom
Bane.
Hardy.
Can you imagine? He walks in. No one cared about me till I wore a mask. They're like, was that shaken or stirred? A mask, I tell you.
No, just
No
the size of it. Like, the size of Tom Hardy, because Inception Tom Hardy was a normal size.
Again, you don't think you should have James Bond in a full suit wearing a Bane mask?
I mean, that'd look incredibly stupid, but
It would be amazing. You know for a fact, at one point they'd walk through the gadget room and there'd be like a mask. He goes,
I mean, that would be a fun Easter
I
egg.
don't wear a mask. You know that joke's gonna happen.
That would be a
Like,
really
it's
fun
not like
Easter
fully the Bane mask, but you know it is. Yeah, it'd be great. It's like, there's always the list of gadgets they don't choose. Like, that'd be one of them.
Yeah. Although, I'm trying to think, because like they may have done a thing in Casino Royale, but then they really only did the one. Spectre and Skyfall, he never went back to MI.
That's true, but those movies are very specific in the way they did.
Yeah, so there was no chance for the
Mm-hmm.
the
that to
cheeky
happen.
stuff, but
For the callback. Well, like this, like when you start with a new Bond, they will give us that option, I promise. Because
I'd be curious to see who carries over.
I'd be curious, do you think what's her face will again? Oh no, she can't, she's dead. Do you think
Ralph
do you think Ralph
Fiennes took
Fiennes?
over as M?
I was like, do you think Ralph Fiennes will? That's what I meant.
Oh, he's a great
Judi Dench was too, to be fair, like,
yeah.
and she was the only thing that transferred from the last one.
I think she spanned 3 Bonds.
Did she really?
She may have been the last.
She at least spanned 2 Bonds. I knew that.
Yeah, she may. Who was the one before Brosnan?
God, what's this? Dalton?
Sure.
I think so.
She may have been the M for the last Dalton movie, and then all of the Brosnan movies, and then all of the
And
Craig movies.
well, not all the Craig movies, not the last one, not Spectre.
She's in it though, isn't she?
No,
Oh no, she
in
dies at the end
Skyfall.
of Skyfall. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the end of Skyfall's her funeral, I think.
Yeah.
But, I think Hardy sounds like I still stick with. I think Idris Elba would be good. I think Hardy for sure sounds like a good Bond to me, based on what we've seen. I think he could do it. It'll be interesting to be the first Bond in a while that's not like a stage actor background.
He's got a stage background.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because he's just such a different actor than like the other ones. You could tell they had like more. They just felt like they had form.
Well, Hardy started as a stage actor, and then he kind of became I think his first big break was as a stuntman.
I could see it.
Or like a stunt double. Not necessarily a stunt man, but a stunt double. And then yeah, he kind of became a bigger name in the industry. But I mean, any time that he gets a chance to showcase his dramatic chops, he's one of the best. Like, what was that movie where it was him playing the two main characters?
I just had to pull it up because I was looking him up. Yeah, he was the twins or whatever. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and that movie's amazing. Like,
legend.
Yeah, it's way better than it has any right to be. Like,
Tom, meet Hardy. Other TV and film news, though, this is one of the bigger ones, is Disney basically cleared out their calendar for the remaining year and pushed everyone to next year.
Are there no more Disney Plus?
So this is what gets weird. Okay. So I'm pulling it up now. So Black Widow has now been pushed to May 7th. The old May 7th Marvel movie is pushed to July 9th. Steven Spielberg's West Side Story has been pushed an entire year to December 10th, 2021. They are keeping 20th Century Fox's Death from the Nile in the December. It was originally in October. Pixar's Soul is apparently still on a November 20th release date, as is 20th Century's Free Guys on December 11th. But at this point, that is all that is left in this year in the Disney or 20th Century pipeline. The other things was they pushed apparently Kingsman up 2 weeks to February 12th, 2021, and they moved Marvel's Eternals all the way back to November 5th, 2021.
That Eternals is going to be dog shit, right?
I don't know. I don't know apparently it has good actors tied to it. It's one of those heroes. I don't know Eternals. And there's a shot it could be a Guardians of the Galaxy, though, where people just find out where it's good.
I don't know. It's been delayed how many times? Like,
no, not that much. It's not even delayed. No, just because of COVID. That's it.
Oh,
you're thinking,
you're
thinking
this
of
was
the other thing.
New Mutants, but
yes, you're thinking
Eternals was like delayed originally.
No, it was a different thing you're thinking. I know what you're thinking of, but it's not Eternals.
Then did they scrap that project that was originally?
No, it was a thing that became. It was one that became a TV show. Is what you're thinking of.
Is there a Marvel's Eternal TV show?
I'm pulling up the thing what I'm thinking of.
I could have sworn it was Eternals that got.
I don't think it's Eternals. I know what you're talking about. I just don't know what it is. It is. I don't think it's Eternals. I'm pretty positive it's not Eternals. Come on, I know there's there's movies they announced, so I'm trying to find. Inhumans you're thinking of. Inhumans is a thing that was going to be dog shit they scrapped. And it was a series on ABC. Object.
No, the thing I'm thinking of was definitely it was announced and then almost immediately delayed.
Okay, well, I was thinking of Inhumans when you said it. It was definitely not Eternals. Eternals, this is the first delay we've had for it that I could think of. Unless they had a COVID one where they pushed it, but there was no actual delay. So, yeah, I'm shocked.
Is Free Guy that one that's supposed to be
Ryan Reynolds GTA thing?
Yeah.
So I think it looks interesting. It's Ryan Reynolds, so I'll probably see it. I find it interesting they're keeping Pixar's Soul on the calendar for this year.
I don't even know what that.
It is the one where the kids are going on a road trip. It's like Tom Holland's the main voice on it.
No idea.
Okay, well, I'm just shocked they're keeping a Pixar movie on the calendar. Like this, to me, if I was them push it next year, because apparently, Black Widow didn't do super hot, is my understanding on Disney Plus. Because especially because they announced them 3 months later it was going to be free, so everyone's like, why would we pay those prices?
I mean, Mulan.
Yeah,
Not Black Widow.
not Black Widow. Black Widow is what people wanted to happen, but didn't.
Well, of course it didn't do great because basically the day after it came out, you're like, oh, here's the date that it's going to be free.
Which is dumb as hell.
Yeah.
Other weird news, as we're sticking superheroes, apparently there's going to be a Suicide Squad called Peacemaker, starring John Cena over at HBO Max. What I find interesting is, why are they putting someone you can't see as their own TV show? Is it just going to be like a camera following a blank location?
Okay, you're just looking stupid at this point. Cena's definitely making a name for himself. Like, trying to get rid of the John Cena the wrestler and become John Cena the actor.
It is definitely surprising, and I find it interesting.
The thing is, like, Cena is going the Dave Bautista route. Like,
100%. Because Cena is in the Suicide Squad. I just keep forgetting he is.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it because HBO Max took over Doom Patrol.
Mm-hmm.
And they never finished it because COVID hit right around when they were filming the last episode, so they couldn't film the finale. And it's definitely the biggest case of blue balls I've ever had. But yeah, I mean, the HBO is
throwing money,
unlimited. I mean, they can do whatever they want.
That is accurate. But yeah, otherwise,
the first comment in the Variety comment section: no one wants this. Their name: no one wants this.
It's funny as hell. So he wants it. Okay. So other things as we jump into the video game side of news. Tribeca Film Festival has officially added a video game selection, which I find interesting because, like, it's not even like they're rebranding themselves as a festival for media; they're still calling themselves Tribeca Film Festival. Like,
yeah, I mean,
Tribeca Games has an advisory board that includes Jeff Keighley, Hideo Kojima, Nia DaCosta, who I don't know, Sam Lake, Jon Favreau, which I've always heard he's a big video game guy. Bing Gordon.
Nia DaCosta is from Candyman, so not a games.
So that's true, and so is Jon Favreau. It's obviously not games, but at least Jon Favreau I've definitely heard tied to games and media before. Like I have heard that connection in the past.
Oh god, they've got Bing Gordon from EA on here.
And then Kiki Wolfkill, who was part of the...
Dude, how do you screw up the coolest last name on here?
So, like, this list I find interesting in a lot of ways.
Well, here's the thing that doesn't surprise me, right? Like, okay, Keighley's tied to it. Of course, Kojima's going to be tied to it.
The reason Keighley doesn't offend me is I wouldn't be shocked if behind the scenes he had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because he probably has connections in both the film side and the game side.
I don't know how connected to film, but he definitely has. He has ways of getting connected for sure.
And then Kojima, I think, actually makes sense on a board because he's very into film, and obviously it's another one where at least you could see kind of the cross there. That's
well, and he and Keighley, I guess that was the reason I wasn't surprised.
Yeah. But I'm saying putting
Kojima
on a board, if I'm going to have developers on there, I think makes a lot of sense. Especially this would it be a category that's for more story-heavy games. Kojima makes a lot of sense.
I guess the reason I wouldn't want him on the board of this is he deserves the first 5 years of awards.
And this is going to be the problem is what you do.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That's a problem. And like, I don't know how to solve that problem, but
I mean, because Tribeca isn't like, they don't care about best actor. It's best film in a section
mm-hmm.
and best overall. So, you know, that's where Kojima thrives. If you single out a section of his game, they aren't that good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hot take, but even David Hayter's Snake isn't that good.
I don't think he's bad.
Like, he's got memorable lines and that's it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like he's some great, amazing performance. You know, he's not Ashley shit. What's her last name? From Ashley Johnson from Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you put everything together, and Kojima's games are just crazy enough that they're awesome.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And everything he makes is totally for, like, you know, if you've never seen a film festival movie, they are some wacky ass shit.
Accurate as fuck.
And so it's like Hideo Kojima he's made games for film festivals.
Oh, 100%. He is the film kid with a budget.
Yeah. No, that's take your pick. I mean,
that is Sam Lake.
Sam Lake, that's, you know, Woody Allen became that. Mentioning his name would probably get me canceled, but the man that kickstarted the Me Too movement was that.
Which is yeah. I'm not even going there. But yeah.
Well, okay, I can mention his first name because there is a dealership in the Sarasota area in Florida. It is Harvey Lexus. He is the kid that
the car
take
model.
Lexus out. Harvey is the guy that is film kid with a budget.
Yeah, no, 100%. So speaking of budgets that you'll need, AJ, let's jump to the news story where you get to roast people for about 5 minutes. So Xbox Series X, which I don't know if we've talked about, announced a while ago they had a little expandable drive akin to, like, for external storage instead of an external hard drive.
Well, did they?
We now know
until
what they
recently,
cost.
did they even announce what it was? Like,
Yeah,
it was always just this expansion slot. They never said
we knew it was storage. I think that's all we knew. We didn't know what that meant. We now know what it is. It is a 1 terabyte expandable storage card that you can buy for $220.
Making a Series S, which is
The cheap
basically a 1S, cost the exact same as a Series X.
Yes.
And okay, you'll have half a terabyte more storage, but you won't be able to take advantage of anything.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, like, surface level, the optics of their chart that they released,
mm-hmm.
of can you use USB storage, or
so basically you can, it's just slower, but it was an atrocious chart.
Well, you won't be able to use USB storage once games are series exclusive.
Okay.
Because, you know, these games, which good on them, right? These games are being built for SSDs.
Mm-hmm.
And that speed, which, you know, USB 3 can't support. So, optics of it look terrible.
Oh, 1,000%.
But, I mean, okay, if this, you know, this is obviously coming out. You know, if there are enough whales that go out and buy this because, you know, they're Xbox fanboys and they need to have everything Xbox. If enough people go out and buy these expandable storage things,
mm-hmm.
even Sony has said, look, the cost of these will go down.
Oh, I thought like they will go down. It's just the immediacy of it.
Yeah. It's also, these are the only things using this NVMe 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, once PCs start using it, and, once there's a larger base for the tech that they're using in these consoles, you'll probably see this terabyte thing drop to $60.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, to make it even worse, there are only going to be certified Xbox Ones.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't be able to just go out and get a terabyte NVMe 4 for $50 off eBay.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to get the Xbox certified Seagate or Western Digital or whoever
Mm-hmm.
ones. So, yeah. A terabyte SSD in a PC is $50, $60.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you really want to experience Xbox games with an SSD and just don't want to spend that much money, build a PC, because, my main rig, the rig that I'm recording on right now, is all SSDs.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like 5 or 6 terabytes of SSDs, and everything loads super fast. I don't have to wait on anything. I'm having games just create loading screens because everything's loading. Like, we were playing Warzone a couple months ago, and in the pregame lobby, like, I had landed and was farting around killing people. You still hadn't loaded, and granted, you were playing on console, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you still hadn't loaded until we were dropping to start the match. Like, so if you want to experience the speed, you can do it on a computer. It existed for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun, though, to see the PC ports of games, because they're not really going to be that much of a port now. Take advantage of SSDs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Otherwise, the biggest story, as I was saying, is for sure. Woke up Monday morning drinking my coffee. Bloomberg reports Microsoft bought ZeniMax Media for $7.5 billion in cash. Not stock, not overtime, pure hard cash. AJ, is there a simplest thing to say that this is the most important purchase Microsoft has made from video game space ever? Like this makes Minecraft look cute.
Importance?
It is. It's the one of the big. They bought the like fourth biggest publisher.
I don't know, like, from their point of view, still, like, the acquisition of a bunch of the behind the scenes stuff is definitely bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But
this is massive.
It's only massive because of the amount. Like, let's look at what ZeniMax has coming out. Like, the only thing they have out right now is Elder Scrolls Online.
So that's true, but let's look at some of the IPs in there that they at least are touching relatively frequently. Dishonored, they'll probably go back to at some point.
I don't know. I didn't hear great things coming out of 2.
Okay, I heard great things. I didn't hear good sales.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
okay, Doom. There will be more Doom. There will be more Wolfenstein. We know that. They literally announced there was more Wolfenstein.
I know, but after 3, like, what do you do after 3?
Then I don't know.
That franchise is on the cooler for a while.
So, like, but otherwise, studio-wise, obviously, Tango Gameworks is interesting there. Arcane, What's interesting though is Bethesda has two PS5 console exclusives that Microsoft has announced are staying PS5 console exclusives because they're contractual agreements.
I thought it was 3.
It's two, I think.
Deathloop, Ghostwire Tokyo, and then didn't they have that? It's the shit. No, there was something else that I thought was.
I think it's just two. I think it's just those two.
Maybe that's
those
the
the
two
two.
that are.
Oh,
no,
I'm looking at it right now. It says Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. That's all.
Yeah.
And then
I could have sworn there was a third. Maybe it was something else that they had recently purchased.
And then, like, long term, obviously, you'll have, like, Elder Scrolls and Starfield, which I know you don't care about, but those will be sales. Like, that's sellers.
Yeah.
So that's what's interesting about it. Obviously, everything will now launch on Game Pass, which is gonna... Game Pass now is, like, a powerhouse.
I just don't see how that thing doesn't just skyrocket.
They announced Game Pass subscribers have jumped 50% in the last 3 months, I think. It went from 10 million to 15 million monthly users.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Do we say in October 21, so a year from now, is Game Pass still $15?
I think yes, because Microsoft will make a point of doing that as long as they humanly can. I think it might be the only thing available is how they cut their bottom end.
Well, so okay, like, Starfield. Microsoft is going to make that an exclusive.
You think so? He said this is every game's case by case. So like,
why
I
else would you pay $7.5 billion?
That is accurate.
You're going to make these games exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Starfield's going to cost what? Another $15 to $20 million to make?
I was saying 100, but okay.
Well, on top of what they've already put in.
Yeah, probably that's actually probably a good number then. Maybe a little more, but yeah, maybe 30. Maybe.
And you're giving it away for effectively free.
In fact, yeah. Like, obviously there's more, but yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying.
Well, this is a first-party studio on Game Pass. Like, they're not cutting a deal for every download. Like,
my understanding, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, on Game Pass, DLC is not free.
Right. The DLC isn't included, but...
No, but like I'm not saying that's a lot of money, but that is some back-end money that now changes some equations there.
Yeah. But I still don't, like... That's going to be a tough... Like, Microsoft... top-level Microsoft, not Xbox, not... Microsoft Games, Microsoft Corporation. That is a tough sell. Like, hey, this game's got, well, and also they had to have, they took on the debt that Bethesda had to make Starfield. They had to have. So,
you want to hear
isn't it for $100 million.
So you want to hear two interesting fun facts, though? First one is this is Microsoft's first Japanese first-party studio ever in Tango Gameworks. Yeah, and then the other interesting fact is, so they now own Obsidian and In Exile, which so basically they own the akin to that old Black Isle team because like that literally what it was In Exile was like relics of that, and so was Obsidian, and I think Brian Fargo found both of them or something else. It's like literally, and also the other obvious joke is now Microsoft owns Fallout and Obsidian, so you know what everyone's asking for.
Yeah, everybody's asking for New Vegas too.
And like, even if it's not New Vegas 2, let Obsidian make Fallout now. I think let Obsidian do it.
Yeah.
Like, I think the honest answer is take Fallout out of Bethesda Game Studios, put it at Obsidian, and give them an actual budget.
Yeah. So okay, that's a $100 million game. Like,
but like
how are they?
I don't know.
Microsoft Corporation can't just like, because guess what? $100 million games add up quick.
Especially you now have like 20 first-party studios.
Well, and now that you have Wolfenstein, Doom, like Skyrim or Elder Scrolls 6, that's going to be a $200 million game easy.
Mm-hmm.
Starfield, which will be a $100 million game by the time that comes out. And you've got Game Pass, which is $15. Yes, it looks like an amazing deal, but I don't know how long that's going to last.
Mm-hmm.
Unless what they do is like they sell you shells of games and effectively force DLC. Because I mean,
Yeah, no, that's
that's
true.
kind of how they do it with Forza right now. Like you base Forza is out on Game Pass, but then if you want any of the cars, basically, like unless you're gonna spend the time to grind, and then you can only grind so far
Mm-hmm.
until you run into, oh well, this is a car pack, this is a car pack, this is the Hot Wheels car pack, this is oh, I've done everything for shit. What was the UK Horizon Festival? Done everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I want to check out Treasure Island or whatever they called it, or I want to check out Lego World. Like that's all DLC, so they're gonna get the money there, I guess. But also, it takes money to make those DLCs, so are they banking on players
Mm-hmm.
cranking into the DLC?
Which maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I could see Doom doing it, like
Mm-hmm. Doom would make
selling
sense.
skins or
I was thinking you do battle arenas.
yeah, just whatever. Doom has got a path for free to play style DLC, which is what this is effectively going to become.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfenstein doesn't really have a. I mean, I guess originally, but they haven't in a very long while had a history of multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting. And then the final news story, which came out of nowhere, is uh, Amazon just took Google, whatever it's called, something or another,
Stadia.
and what took Google Stadia and just like kindly took in the other room and pulled the shotgun on it.
It I'm gonna make a great pun here. It took it behind the woodshed out in the lumberyard and killed
That's a
it.
good one. So the reason we're saying that it's not because I know for work. Actually, this is why I'm saying it. So Stadia costs money, and you have to buy games, and it's not even 4K. They just announced the introductory price is $6, 4K 60 FPS, and it includes all the games.
Luna Plus channel game. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Like, Luna Plus channel games.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a Luna standard
That would be free.
or discounted?
Not sure, but the whole point though is like this is what Stadia should have been.
The controller is going to be $50 during the early access period.
Also, the controller looks fine. It looks like an Xbox controller.
No, it looks like a Switch Pro controller.
Actually, it kind of does. But the point more is like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because again, the issue with Stadia is it's not that it doesn't work; it's the cost makes no sense.
But here's the thing, right? Like, this is what Google has done forever, right? They get into a market and kind of take the hit up front,
And then Amazon shows up.
and then somebody shows up and
Mm-hmm.
perfects it, and then Google backs out, and they're like, "Well, okay, guess we spent $5 billion on Stadia. Oh, Google or YouTube just brought in $10 billion. Google can make these mistakes or take these hits. And guess what? Everybody's going to use Google.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody searches with Google. Everybody uses YouTube. Like, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, Pornhub's actually in the top 10.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, like this, the controller is the Stadia tech. Like, it's Wi-Fi controllers.
Mm-hmm.
So, directly to the cloud to effortlessly control your game, featuring a multiple antenna design that prioritizes uninterrupted Wi-Fi for lower latency gaming. In fact, testing showed a reduction in round-trip latency when playing Luna with Cloud Direct versus Bluetooth, with reductions of between 17 to 30 milliseconds.
That's pretty good.
That's good, but also, like, what is the server delay going to be? Like, okay, you reduced the time 30 milliseconds, but if, the server to TV delay is 35 milliseconds, and then the refresh rate on the TV is 10 milliseconds, that's 45 milliseconds.
Mm-hmm.
You will eventually reach a point where, your controller is faster than what you're seeing on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no,
that's the only worry of these Wi-Fi controllers.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think that's all the news I had. Games we're watching out for as this episode premieres. Is Crash 4 comes out the day this does. Besides that, you have Watch Dogs Legion comes out on the 29th. You have Demon Souls and Miles Morales and AC Valhalla, which are all launch games for the PS4 and Valhalla, obviously Xbox, also on November 10th. And then on November 19th, we finally get Cyberpunk 2077, but I believe that is only the current gen version, and we don't have a date on the next gen version of that game.
Well, don't worry, your next gen console won't be in until the beginning of next year anyway, because
everyone's delaying them.
Yep.
Oh, shipping.
Everybody thought the PS5 pre-order was bullshit. Apparently the Xbox was hella worse.
Yeah, apparently Xbox tried to make it sound better. They said Times, but then no one listened to the Times.
Well, and from this, Xbox was, they jumped on the bashing of PlayStation a little bit and was like, hey, we're going to do this right. And then from everything that I heard, like, at least some people were able to get PS5s.
Yeah, I think people got them.
The Xbox, it seemed like it went straight to scalpers.
Yeah, because the time, and apparently there's no catch on anything. So apparently bots are able to pick it up too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not like physical people scalping, but scalper bot.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, so now we have to have a discussion on air. What are we doing with Movie Club since shit is hitting the fan again?
Is anything coming out?
No, we could all see New Mutants if we all want to die together.
I'm good.
That's what I thought. There's nothing in theaters. There is.
Oh boy, Swamp Thing as a top pick. I'm curious, so they've got some stuff from the DC universe listed here on IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how quickly that's going to switch over to HBO Max.
Oh, 100%. That was one of the things I didn't pull, was they announced all movies are going to HBO. Everything not comics is going to HBO Max. They're literally only comics is staying on whatever they rebranded it as.
DC universe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. We've got apparently a new American Pie movie.
Is it on demand?
Let's see. American Pie presents Girls Rules, starring Madison Pettis, Lizzie Broadway, and Natasha Benham. No.
Oh, so not names that mean anything to me.
Also, real curious, how the hell do you make a American Pie in current culture?
I have no clue. These are legitimate questions, AJ.
I'm not seeing anything about release other than the release date.
Okay, so do we just say no movie club this month, and we're just gonna run an extra interview show, and then we'll hope next month there's stuff coming out?
We'll figure something out.
Okay, we're gonna stick with that, people. Nothing you have to watch this month, not to tell you otherwise. Yeah. So that is everything that means for.
Oh, here we go. Let's see upcoming
This one?
releases for Côte d'Ivoire,
Oh no.
the Ivory Coast. This is a really blank page.
Shocking.
Okay, here, let's have some fun. So this is the upcoming releases for by country. Give me a country.
Germany.
You've got Warning 3, Misbehavior, Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. Enfant Terrible, Jim Button and the Wild 13, God, You're Such a Prick. Caretakers, which is from 2018. Astronaut from 2019. Kajillionaire is coming out on the 22nd. Alright, next country. And they've got some, like, they've got American Samoa listed as a separate country. They have Antarctica.
I have one. Beirut.
Beirut?
Beirut.
That's a city, isn't it?
Is that not a country?
Beirut is a city, as far as I know.
Israel.
There's probably nothing this weekend, seeing as how it's Yom Kippur, but...
that was last weekend.
It's this weekend.
I
As
thought it
we're
was
recording this.
I thought it was last. 'Cause I thought RBG died during Yom Kippur or some shit.
No, it was there's like multiple. Because B&H is closed this weekend because of it. Nothing for Israel. What is Jersey? That's a country. What do you think is being released on Bird Island and McDonald Islands?
I have no clue.
Nothing. Okay, this Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. Oh yeah, this was a I want to say it was a Tribeca pick. Speaking of Tribeca, and it didn't release widely in the States. Never bad, rarely slow, sometimes heart-wrenching, always great. That's the main view. God, You're Such a Prick. That is... Is this? I don't know any... This is a European movie if I've ever seen one. Yep, it was a German movie. It's produced by Cactus Films, RTL, UFA. Hey, or no, RTL is the German. RT is the Russian one.
Okay. Well, on that note, I think is when we're going to call it here. Thank you everyone for joining us for this month. We will be back probably with an F1 show interview or something coming up next weekend.
We get to talk about the Tuscan Grand Prix and the shit show that was there, as well as the parent shit show in Russia.
Nice. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at Mikey_Maroney. You can follow AJ at AJ_Losi. Follow the show at the SWW Show. Remember, catch me at GDEX sometime during the weekend of October 10th. Times TBD once they are posted. And I believe that is everything. So we'll catch you guys next time.
This episode is partially brought to you by the Humble Choice program. Did you know Humble Bundle has a great monthly subscription service that lets you get a ton of video games every single month? That's right, from plans range from $5 to $20 a month, you get a hold of a bunch of free games they have available to you. And you can use our code down in the description below to go and sign up. It would help our podcast and help you see what great games are available for you this month.
This podcast was a production of the SWW Show. To learn more, go to theswwshow.com. Remember, you can follow the show on Twitter at the SWW Show. You can follow me at Mikey_Moni. You can follow AJ at LowSeatBoy. Remember, new episodes premiere on Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time on anchor.fm/SWW and podcast services around the globe.